Terry, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Living a dream. I say that way too much on the openings of these shows. I got to stop it, you know, because it's like it's predictable. I'm getting too predictable on this. So I think I found you on a Facebook group or something like that, and your work really intrigued me. So you're a medium and you communicate with all kinds of things. So let's just jump into it. And so my first question is, when did you first discover you had the gift?
Well, I don't call them gifts. I call them abilities because
Okay.
everybody's got them.
Okay.
And, I don't think of myself as special, maybe short bus special, but that's not all.
Right.
But in 1990, I was doing a horseback therapy program with disabled kids, and I heard a nonverbal child speak to me.
Okay.
And it didn't dawn on me at the time that he was nonverbal.
Mm.
So him and I were carrying on this conversation about everything but horseback riding. It was just the weirdest thing.
Mhm.
And so the gal's leading the horse and I'm sidewalking and helping the child. And I took him off the horse, put him back in his wheelchair. He went back to class. And the gal says, boy, he's sure talking great. And I miss the sarcasm. I said,
Mhm.
well, he's very bright. Just because he has CP doesn't necessarily mean he has any cognitive issues. And she
Mhm.
looked at me and she said, Terry, he didn't say a word. If I was a horse, I would have done a butt fart snort because they do all three of those things at the same time when they're spooked. And I was spooked.
Uh-huh.
So so anyway, I went in the classroom and they put a band around his head with a pointer and he had typed out on his computer, horse lady can hear me. So then
Oh,
I
wow.
stood there communicating with him completely telepathically.
Mhm.
And I mean, that was a first for me.
Yeah.
I'm a down to earth Nevada cowgirl. I'm out there cleaning manure every day, twice a day.
Yeah.
So that was pretty weird for me. And so when I went back out and told this volunteer what had happened, she just very matter of factly said, well, if you can hear a nonverbal child telepathically, you ought to learn to communicate with the horses because all animals are telepathic. And
Yeah.
you could have knocked me over with a feather after she told me that.
I bet.
So I just went, well, okay, I'm going to learn to communicate with horses
Mhm.
because I love horses.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it just sort of evolved, a couple, months into it. I was talking to a gal about her horse and I said, she said, our daughter passed away. And I said, oh, I'm so sorry. And then as she's telling me, I said, I can hear her. She goes, I
Mhm.
didn't know you did this. I said, well, this is a first for me. And
Mhm.
so I told her some very, very specific things that the daughter was sharing with me that were spot on, that there's no way I could have known.
Mm.
So then it was like, okay, I'm a medium. It's just
Yeah.
everything's kind of been like that. I
Mhm.
worked with two energy healers and they'd say, look in that horse's intestines and tell me what you see. And I go, you can't do that. You need a
Mm.
CAT scan or an x-ray or something. She'd say, well, why do you think you can't see in there?
Mhm.
"Well, I don't I don't know. She says, don't you, what if you thought you could see in there? What would you see?
Right.
So that got me to where I was doing medical and veterinary intuition because I could see into a physical body because I
Mm.
didn't realize you couldn't anymore.
Okay.
So it's just been a journey. Oh my goodness. I do remote viewing and map dowsing. I found gold on maps and
Oh, wow.
I can find water for people on maps that are getting ready to drill a well. I mean, it's fun. I can't make this stuff up really.
Right. I mean, it's gotta be, you're sitting there talking to somebody and you think you're having a conversation with them because I don't know if you're obviously if you're guiding the horse, you're not looking at him.
Right.
So then you hear him talking, so you're just talking back to him. Now when you were talking to him, were you talking to him out loud verbally?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Oh,
was
because he
talking
can
out
hear,
loud.
so yeah.
So
Yeah,
I was
okay.
just working with the child. They had somebody else leading the horse.
Oh, okay. Alright, and
So
then yeah,
so it's called spotting, because
okay,
we were doing vaulting, which is gymnastics on horseback.
okay.
So
Yeah,
it just didn't dawn on me. We were talking about like the school play and his little girlfriend and all kinds of things that had nothing
mhm,
to do with horseback riding.
right. That's gotta be one of the most, like, holy shit moments when you realize you can do something like that. So you said everybody has the ability. Where do you think it generates from in us?
Well, we're all born with intuition, clairvoyance, clairsentience, clairaudience, claircognizance. We're all born with all of those abilities.
Hmm.
And those together can also include telepathy. Telepathy, I want to be real specific about this.
Okay.
Telepathy is mind to mind communication with words and thoughts.
Right.
And I'm not being snotty here, but I'm going to go, that's it.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you want to really deepen that communication, you have to develop your intuitive ability, which is going to give you tastes and smells and sounds and feelings. The feelings can be emotion, they can be tactile, they can be pain.
Hmm.
And we're all born with it. We just shut it off because we probably freak out some adult as a child.
Hmm.
And
Right.
so it's just a matter of learning to turn it back on. It's not woo woo. I can't do woo woo. I'm a cowgirl. We don't
Right.
do the woo
Yeah. And how long have you been a cowgirl?
since I was 9.
Oh, wow. So yeah, long time. Yeah. Okay. No, I get it.
Centuries. So
Yeah.
it's centuries. That's what it is.
How often do you get to practice? Like, I guess, I don't know, is practice the word to use? I don't, or,
Yes, it's a
yeah. Okay.
practice, yeah, because 'cause I'm always reaching for perfection, so I'm still practicing. It's like medicine.
Yeah. Right. It's always,
O
yeah, it's a
only
valid
different.
point. Yeah. Only a
So
little bit. Yeah.
so I do readings all day, every day, and I
Okay.
love it.
Mm,
I'm excited about every frickin' reading, and I
good.
have clients that I've been at it 36 years, I have clients that I've had for 30 years.
Nice.
They still keep coming back. "Terry, I
Hmm.
need guidance. Terry, you need to talk to my horse. Terry, you need to talk to my dog.
Hmm.
Terry, my mom died, I need to talk to her."
Yeah.
I just love it. Whatever goes, and each reading is whatever you want to talk about. It's not. I know people that charge by the horse. I think that's obscene.
See, yeah,
They charge
absolutely.
$50 a horse. That's disgusting.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listen, the people are going to turn anything to a profit they can. I mean, unfortunately, it's, and listen, you're talking to somebody who's pro capitalism, right? Because I think it's the only thing that works. But I mean, there's always people out there that will take advantage of things and and monetize what they can because greed is inevitable in life.
Right. But I keep my rates low. It's 50 and 90 half hour.
Right.
It should be 300 a half hour. I'm not kidding. Because I've seen what's out there. I've heard what's out there.
Yeah. And listen, I've had two other mediums on my show, and they're good. Well, I don't want to say they're not good people, but the first one I was a little skeptical of, and the second one I was not skeptical of because you could tell with her it was coming from a place of authenticity and genuineness, you know.
Sure.
And the first one, and I'm not gonna name names or like that because one, I don't want to get sued, but two, it was just literally like it was so far fetched, and me being a person of logic, but I'm also a person of faith, so I got to believe in some things that are a little wonky in life, right?
Sure.
But it was just really hard for a rational mind to grasp and understand. So, but I mean, and it was, and the fact that they were so nonchalant about how they were saying it, and it was like everything sounded rehearsed and practiced.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like the way he
it's so
was describing
sad.
things. Yeah,
Can I bitch about TV mediums for a second?
absolutely.
Okay. The most important part of doing medium work, just medium work, that's talking to animals and humans that are now non-physical energy beings.
Right.
Okay. Um, the short version is dead, pretty
Hmm.
much dead or mostly dead, right?
Yeah. Right.
So the problem with the TV mediums, and I'm sorry, but it's every last one of them.
Hmm.
They do not have discernment. They
Yeah.
completely lack discernment. So let me
Right.
give you a 2-second physics
Yeah.
lesson.
Sure.
We are 99% energy and only 1% physical.
Okay.
When we leave our shells behind, we return to being pure positive energy. We go to the other side, which isn't a place, it's a vibration or frequency, like
Okay.
turning the dial on a radio. It's
Hmm.
that simple. Well, only those things that are a vibrational match can go with us. So
Hmm.
all the happy stuff,
Yeah.
the negative stuff, how you died,
Hmm.
pain, suffering, unfinished business, regrets, all that garbage that's low vibration gets left behind in the earthly realm. Now, the
Mm.
problem is that garbage looks like, feels like, and sounds like the deceased. It's not them, it's their garbage. So if you
Okay.
have a medium telling you about how they died and what their problems were, and that they're so sorry, and anything negative like that, they are dumpster diving, pure and simple.
Right.
And they all do it, every last one of them. Most of them have written books. One's called Unfinished Business, one's called Regrets, one's called um, they're just all that negative crap. So what they're
Mhm.
doing is reading the garbage and sharing it as if it is coming from the person on the other side, and nothing can be
Yeah.
further from the truth.
I
And
s
people need to know this, because there's one of them out there. I'm watching him while he does it. He's telling the person what they want to hear.
Mhm.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
That's even worse.
I had a guy on my show, his name was Bob Ginsberg, and he has a way of, certifying mediums, and he
I'm
has, like, a
certified by two different organizations.
yeah, and so he was in this episode that I'm talking about, I was asking him about the level of fraudulent mediums. He goes, "The amount that actually are up to snuff and that pass the sniff test is shockingly low."
Yes.
Like, he said,
Yes.
he was talking about it, and he was doing a remote viewing exercise, and that exercise was, he's like, "I'm gonna draw, a circle with things around it, and then people are gonna send me their drawings in." And there was one person months later, if I'm remembering correctly, um, sent the exact drawing in the mail. And there's no way that she would have known. He's in East Coast, she's on the West Coast, literally
Sure.
thousands of miles apart.
Yeah.
So there's something to it. It's just a matter of being willing and open to understanding it,
It's just
and yeah,
physics,
yeah, mhm,
energy, frequency, vibration,
right,
all the time.
yeah,
I was at the sink the other day, and I just turned to my husband. I said, "So you're not going to the pool?"
right,
And he went, "No, I'm not."
yeah.
And he
Get out of
goes,
my head.
"How do you?" And then he starts, "How do you know?" And then just says, "Never mind, never
Yeah,
mind."
because yeah,
I
it's
just,
that's a little bit like arguing with a lawyer. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Like, you know what I'm going to say before I say it, so I might as well just shut up.
right.
But
But
so,
the big
yeah,
thing is I've taught hundreds and hundreds of people how to do this. I've written 3 books
mhm,
to teach people how to do this. And my second book
yeah,
is the one I'm so excited about, and my guides made me write it. I didn't want to write it. And they said, "You need to do that one." I went, "Oh, I don't want to do this one." They said, "No, you need that one. You're going to
right,
need it." And I went, "Okay, now I need it because of the podcast and telepathy tapes."
mhm.
No, that's
Oh
out. And
yeah,
it's like, she's proven autistic people are telepathic.
wow, mhm.
Yeah. And my response is, "But duh, I've been doing it for 36 years." I'm
Right.
not being disrespectful. It's
No,
just,
not at all.
okay.
Yeah,
You
like
know,
it's like
I've
it's
been doing
common
it.
knowledge at that point, right? Like it should be. So, do you I mean, like, when you communicate with someone with autism or, like, nonverbal autism, obviously, um, what are some of the messages that you get from these people? And, what are they like? Or is it just conversation? Is it asking for help
It's all kinds
or
of things.
yeah,
Some of these kids, they get growing pains, and it makes
mhm,
them crotchety.
yeah,
They're just crabby and they have growing pains. I've tuned into kids and gone, "Oh, he's got a cavity." "What?" "Yeah, he's got a cavity, bottom left."
mhm,
"What?" I
yeah,
get that.
mhm,
Um, and just all kinds of very, very detailed things. One kid told me that he only liked spaghetti noodles with tomato juice because he could slurp it. He couldn't chew because it clicked. It clicked right here.
TMJ, yeah,
He had TMJ, of course. So his diet was just, and the parents are like, "You got to eat more stuff," and food's an issue with them. We don't know
mhm,
why.
right. Mhm.
So
So, do you
go
think
ahead.
that I'm sorry to cut you off, but do you think that autism is what we think it is, a physical thing, or is it something more than that?
Oh God, I think it's genetic.
Okay, yeah. Well, I mean, because there's,
I
they
do.
got RFK out there, he's talking about how it's through vaccines and a few other
No,
things, and no?
no,
No?
no, just
Okay,
no.
okay.
Then they went to Tylenol, please. Oh,
So you were talking about TV mediums and talking about all the junk that was left behind. So you're saying that it's just all the negativity that these people leave that they're misinterpreting as the person.
yes,
Okay.
they're
And
all
then
doing it too.
yeah. So how
Or
do yeah, good.
what's worse is telling somebody what you think. they want to hear. Oh my
Right.
God, stop it.
Yeah. It's not right because
No.
yeah, my girlfriend, she lost her dog, Lucy,
Oh,
and she had her for 8 years. She was a whippet, and she died kinda, like, suddenly, you know what I mean?
oh,
It wasn't like a long drawn out thing, and she went to a pet medium, I guess, I don't know what you wanna call them, but
I did that.
yeah,
Animal communicator.
yeah, and so and then obviously this lady was not up to snuff because she just told my girlfriend everything she wanted to hear.
Correct. A
So
lot of them do that.
and it
Did you get the
wasn't
dog? Did she get the dog back?
what do you mean got the dog back?
A new puppy? So
Yeah,
that
yeah,
you're
yeah, we got a, Italian Greyhound now, a little
okay, but the
stinker.
spirit comes back in the new dog then, always.
Really? Okay, yeah, I wasn't around Lucy very long, maybe like a year, and,
Uh-huh.
I can tell that Alfie is a little bit more rambunctious than
Well,
Lucy.
puppy.
So, my big thing is I think where the skepticism comes from is because of people that are taking advantage. I think you would agree maybe on that? Or
Well, the sad part is most of them are good mediums.
Mhm,
They're really getting stuff from deceased people,
mhm,
which is good and helpful and healing. But the
right,
problem is that they're dumpster diving,
mhm,
which just blows the whole thing.
right.
It
So
invalidates the entire reading because they don't have discernment. It's
that's
the
true.
most important trait if you're
Mhm,
going to be a medium is
mhm,
can you tell the difference between positive and negative energy? And if you
mm.
can't, don't do it.
Well, I guess what I'm trying to wrap my head around it. So I'm a layman in this stuff. I don't know what I'm talking about here. Okay, so
You're
this is
doing good.
and so if they're just communicating with the garbage left behind, what is how does somebody know that they're talking to the actual energy of the person, or do they, or is that communication possible?
Because they're going to get happy, silly, fun stuff. I was talking
Right.
to a dead lady a couple weeks ago,
Mm-hmm.
and it was really weird because she sat on the couch with her husband and her son.
Mm-hmm.
The husband and son went out in the backyard to do something, and when they came in, she was gone.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So she showed me, she stood up off of the sofa, and the only way I can describe it is like her eyes were big as saucers. Like
Mm-hmm.
she was seeing everything for the first time. And
Okay.
her husband said, Terry, she was blind. I went, not anymore.
Right.
And then I said, she's yelling at me to tell you yellow bricks. What is that? They all lost it because this is a big group reading. And I
Mm-hmm.
could hear them all laughing and crying and like jumping up and down. The husband had just had 9 pallets of yellow bricks delivered to their house in Hawaii. And
Mm-hmm.
this was stuff that was going on before she had even before I mean, it was all done after she passed. So there's no way
Mm-hmm.
she could have known about the yellow bricks unless she really was privy to what was going on in their lives now.
Mm-hmm.
So they were just blown away that I get yellow bricks. And to me, and I'm thinking, what are we talking? Wizard of Oz, Yellow Brick Road? No, it was
Right.
they had just
Yeah.
had these bricks delivered for their patio. So they
Mm-hmm.
tell me such positive, specific things that I know, that I'm connected to that person.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very clear. If I get something negative, then I say guidance is saying this
Mm-hmm.
because maybe the person that I'm communicating with it was worried about the pain and the suffering, and maybe they gave them a morphine overdose,
Mm-hmm.
to hasten their demise, which
Right.
is totally appropriate. Maybe that went on and then they felt guilty about it or whatever. So you go into the garbage to get apologies, to get things that they didn't get to say that are negative, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm very, very clear when I click into something negative, it's okay, guidance is saying, not I'm getting from the person. And that's
Right.
all you need to do. If
Mm-hmm.
you're going to if it's important to share that stuff that's in the garbage, then go ahead and share it, but don't attribute it to the person on the other side.
Right. And it's also like if you think about it that way, that's actually a great way to look at it because to discern the difference between the good and the bad. So
Yes.
and in that way they're not giving the people that are left behind, so to speak, this false impression. Does
Yeah.
that make
And
sense? Am I right?
what's
Yeah.
really bad, Phil?
What's that?
There are mediums that actually will charge you,
Mhm.
and people pay it to help someone to the other side.
Yeah,
And they
oh, you mean
believe
like one of those crossing over type people? Yeah.
one of those, well, they believe that if they're tuning into the garbage
Mhm.
that the person's left behind, that the person is actually in that garbage and is stuck, that their soul or spirit is in that garbage and it
Okay.
has to get taken to the other side. No, you do that, you do a clearing or any of that stuff, all you're doing is taking out the trash. It has
Right.
nothing to do with the person on the other side. They're all happy campers. Every
Right.
last
Okay.
one of them is happy camper. Because nothing
Now
negative can go. It wouldn't be
right.
freaking heaven. The other
That's
thing
true.
too the other thing too that people miss
Mhm.
is they'll say, "Oh, well, my grandmother passed and she's my guide now." No,
Mm,
no,
right.
they can't be your guide because the only time you really need your guides is when something's wrong or you need help, something bad's going on. They can't see anything negative in the earthly realm. It wouldn't be freaking heaven.
That's true.
If they could
Yeah.
see us suffering here,
Mhm. Yeah.
you see what I mean?
So, when you're communicating, do you run across a common theme, or is it, like,
It
always
varies
different?
depending on the individuals.
Okay. Yeah. Do you think that they remember their life after they've moved on, or is
Yeah,
it
but only the happy, positive stuff.
okay,
They don't remember the negative stuff at all.
okay. So that just gets, like, basically a hard drive wipe.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good way of putting it. I like that.
Yeah, I mean,
That's really good.
yeah, you can use that, feel free.
Thank you. I
You're
will.
welcome. Thank you. Um, so let's just shift gears. So, like, when you're, like, talking to or not necessarily, when you're communicating with, a horse, like, what do
Okay.
they what give me an idea of what goes through their brain or what,
Okay. It really depends on the horse.
That's
But
true.
a lot of them, they have pain
Mhm.
that their owner is clueless about.
Yeah.
They just
Okay.
know something's wrong, or maybe their performance is off, or something like that. And this is so interesting to me because they'll say, "Well, I do chiropractic and I do Beamer."
Mhm.
And if you understand what a Beamer, it's a blanket. Well, it's only going to get a benefit where the blanket is touching.
Mm. Okay.
And most horses are really sore between their butt cheeks. It's called the adductors,
Okay.
and it's like when they get injured there, it's like a double groin pull. Can you imagine?
Ouch. Yeah.
Yeah. And now go run barrels or chase cows or do reining patterns and
Mhm.
you're sore there.
That wouldn't be good.
So
That's
it's really interesting because even the best horse people, I talked to one the other day and she said, my horse gets a monthly chiropractic and massage. And well, really, massage can't get the booty.
mm-mm.
You need electricity to get through the booty. The muscles are too thick, too
Yeah.
deep, too dense.
Mhm.
Unless you're using electricity on the booty, whether it's PEMF or microcurrent or something like that, you're not going to help the soreness in the booty. You
Mhm.
can't.
Yeah. I don't, this is just me talking. I think horses should just be allowed to roam free. That's just me. You know what I mean?
No.
No?
Oh no,
No?
Phil, no. First of all, I live a mile from where the wild horse herds are.
Okay.
They get beat to hell. They get injured. They break
Yeah,
legs.
that's
They're
true.
full of worms. They don't get
Yeah,
their teeth done. I
yeah.
mean, most of the horses that I know and work with, they're spoiled, rotten.
Right.
They get chiropractic, they get massage. And most of the horses that I talk to love their jobs.
Mhm.
They talk like race car drivers, like first one that I did this and then I did that and I went really, really fast. And that's what it's like talking to them. They're like so into whatever they're doing.
Mhm.
And as long as their pain and their maintenance is taken care of, they're happy campers. They
Mm.
they love their work.
Yeah. Okay,
So
well, I stand
turning them
corrected.
all loose is a really not
No,
a
no, I don't mean like the ones that are being taken care of now. I don't mean turning them loose. I mean, like, like I when you go to a zoo and you see a lion in the zoo, I understand he's getting fed, he's getting medical care and all that. But I like to see an animal in its natural habitat. Does that make sense? Because I feel like someone put me there, I don't know how I would feel. I'm trying, which is kind of maybe a ridiculous point of view, is to put myself in the same perspective as of a an African plains lion. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
all their needs
But
are being
yeah,
met, and
yeah,
now because they know about the psychological issues of animals that are contained, they
hmm
do all kinds of enrichment. They have
that's
all
true.
kinds of enrichment for the big cats.
Yeah, you're right.
So
I mean,
they
I guess
do.
not everybody's fucking Tiger King.
No.
You know what I mean? So that was, I mean, and at the end of that thing, I almost felt a shred of sympathy for that guy. And then I quit. And this is why I quit going to circuses too, because I don't, I don't agree with the way they treat their animals at all. It's cruelty at best. I mean, because
You wanna
it's
talk
like,
about bucking bulls?
do what now?
You wanna talk about bucking bulls?
Sure, let's go.
Oh
Yeah.
my goodness. I
Hmm.
actually do readings on bucking bulls.
Oh, I bet they got some stories.
Oh, they love their work.
Really?
And most of them are just plumb gentle
Hmm.
unless they're doing their job. And they do their job for 8 seconds.
Yeah,
And these things are worth hundreds of thousands of dollars.
if not more
And
sometimes. Yeah.
there's one place where this gal, she just jumps up on the corral and gets onto her bulls and scratches them all over. The only complaint I have is the bull. I can hear the bull going, "Oh, scratch me here," and she misses it completely. I'm
Right.
hearing that, but
Right.
she's just scratching in the wrong places. But that's
Well,
not a big deal.
yeah, it's a thought that counts.
Yeah, but they're
Yeah.
just they're
Hmm.
treasured.
Hmm.
They're
Yeah. Well.
just treasured. But
Yeah.
most of the performance horses that I talk to,
Hmm.
they're they love their job.
Hmm.
And I've had some that say, I'm not too keen on the barrel racing. Can I just chase some cows, like do penning or sorting? I'm using the words. Obviously, they don't know
Yeah.
penning and sorting
Right. Of
or
course.
barrel racing. They don't know those words,
Hmm.
but they send me a visual image of what their job is. And it's like, oh,
Hmm.
you're a barrel horse.
Yeah.
And so one will just say, let's make a deal here. It's kind of like that. Well, I'll go ahead and chase barrels for you. They call it can chasing.
Hmm.
If I get to work cattle once in a while, so I've got this one client, and she takes her horses to pennings and sortings, and then goes and barrel races on the weekend. That horse is so happy. Oh my
Hmm.
goodness, he's so happy.
Yeah. I mean, well, because it's running, it's doing what a horse would want to do. I mean, I would
You're-
assume, but it's probably mimicking what it would do with out in the wild. Like
Well, they don't get
tw-
too many opportunities in the wild to chase cattle.
that's
Usually,
true.
if there's
Yeah.
cattle, there's usually ranchers watching them. You
Hmm.
know,
Yeah. I
not
mean,
too far away.
so I mean, I have a healthy respect and well, let me put it this way. I have a lot of respect and a healthy fear of horses. And I'll tell you why. One of the people I used to work with, his wife, she worked at a horse boarding area, whatever you want to call it,
The
and she
stable.
was, yeah, that thing left my brain completely. Thank you for being here. So, anyways, she was mucking the stall, and well, no, she was trying to get the horse out to muck the stall, and the horse jumped up, bam, both feet in the face. Right,
Oh, geez.
so she had what's called a Lefort 4 fracture or Lefort 3. So in your face, you have what's called cranial sutures.
Sure.
And so they hold your face on to your skull,
Right.
like the bones. And so there's four of them. She had a 3. So she had a Lefort 3 fracture. She was one fracture away from having it where you could grab her eye sockets and move her face off of her,
Oh,
her
geez.
facial bones. And ever since then, I'm like, and it didn't even happen to me. It happened to her. She lost her eye and her frontal cranial bone and all that. Had to have it like 3D printed and put in. So it's like that's why I don't, I just stick to motorcycles.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I would you,
Mhm.
the thing is,
Mhm.
would you get on a motorcycle if it had a brain? You wouldn't.
No, of course not.
Older than dirt, right? I've been in horses since I was 9 years old. We're not going to tell you how many years that is, but it's a
Right.
lot, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
I am still hyper cautious,
Yeah.
still.
Hmm.
And I've got a new mare. When she's in season, my gelding is vicious toward her. Vicious. I mean, lunging over the fences trying to get her.
Right.
Okay, she's 25, he's 26. You would think they'd know better, right?
No, they're still young,
But
right?
I'm very, very careful when I have to get between them with
Hmm.
a cart to get the manure or hay bags or something like that.
Hmm.
And I have to keep them separate because my gelding is an asshole when he's around her. He's
Right.
perfectly fine if he's away from her, but if he's
Hmm.
near her, he's an asshole. Total.
Yeah. Total. Yeah. Well, I was
26.
watched 20, and then yeah, and then well, it's that instinct to breed, right? Or am I
Yeah, but
wrong on
he's a
that?
gelding.
Oh, so he doesn't have anything, right? That means he says
No chingaderas. No,
no wedding tackle, so he can't really.
no, no
Yeah,
huevos.
no huevos, sir. So I mean, but that says something. If he's been gelded and he doesn't have, and he still has the urge to go, is it coming from some other hormonal response, or is it something,
Well,
or is it?
70% of geldings can mount and penetrate a mare. 70%.
Ah, okay, all right,
Yeah, they can't
okay. I
get them
didn't. Yeah.
pregnant,
Well, of course not, because it just
but
there's nothing to shoot. Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
Isn't that something though?
It is. I mean, that just tells you that the drive to create life is strong. You know.
This is more of a dominance thing.
Oh,
This
not
is more
his.
dominance. Like
He's he's
that's his girl. Leave her alone. Or but he wants to
gotcha.
tell her what to do all the time.
Oh, typical man, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
But it's really interesting. But you know, and I've been around horses all my life as a professional.
Mhm.
And I'm not saying that I'm ego or snotty or anything, but I've
Right.
made my living with horses. That means I'm a professional.
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all that means. But I'm still hyper vigilant, hyper cautious around horses.
Right. Because it doesn't
Always.
take much to, like, you get a horse fly bite him, and the next thing you know, you're off to the races. No pun intended. You get a
That's
snake will
right.
spook, scared for your life.
Well, after I had my last hip done, I started riding probably sooner than I should have, but talked with my ortho and I said, listen, here's my risk factors:
Uh huh.
a sonic boom, a bad earthquake, or some sort of an insect bite. I
Right.
said, that's it. Other
Hmm.
than that, I'm good.
Yeah.
And from doing horseback therapy for 30 odd years off and
Mhm.
on, you're really, really focused in on risk factors. You really are.
Yeah. I mean,
And
yeah.
so here I am. I'm a trainer, instructor, all this stuff. I still have a trainer that comes over
Mhm.
to help me
Yeah.
because I want to limit risk factors.
Of course. Yeah. Well, I mean, you don't want to
Sure.
wind up worse and, like, paralyzed or something worse. You know what I mean? I appreciate what you're doing, because it's like, I don't think I have the stones to do it. I don't know what it takes to take care of an animal like that. I have a hard enough taking care of my dog that's that big. So,
It's a lot of work,
uh,
but it's a lot of pleasure. The
mhm,
relationships we have with them,
mhm,
it's the same as a dog, only you just can't let him in the house because of the manure.
it's true.
The
Although
manure
you,
and
I
the
mean,
feed. It's
yeah. Although some,
overwhelming. So
yeah, I've been, so the one time I went horseback riding, and it wasn't because I was afraid or anything like that, but what did it for me is I was walking about 15 feet behind the horse. I didn't know any better. It's the first time, right? Broke the longest fart I've ever heard in my life. It parted my hair. Okay. And I'm
listen,
like, yeah, it's like,
w-
yeah.
when
Uh-huh.
we're horse people, we
Mhm.
pray for farts and poop. We
Yeah,
pray for it
because they're
because if a
healthy.
horse
Yeah.
isn't farting or pooping, you got
Mhm.
problems,
Yeah, you got huge
life
problems.
threatening problems.
What kind of, so I know that, correct me if I'm wrong, but do horses, do they feel their heartbeat in their hooves, correct? Or is that wrong?
No, they look at the frog, which is a part of the hoof,
Okay.
as pushing the blood back up the leg.
Okay. And the frog's that white part, right?
No,
In
it's a
the
triangular shaped piece. It's a
Yeah, okay.
triangular shaped
Yeah, I'm
piece.
way
Yeah,
off. Yeah.
yeah,
Gotcha, okay. Because my
yeah.
ex-sister-in-law, she has a couple of horses on her property, and she's a rider and all that, but I've never had the real opportunity to sit down and talk to her. So, when you're so let's just go back to the, communication thing. So, I really wanna, delve more into the autistic children. Um, do they ever, when they do they ever come to you and say, "Hey, can you tell my parents this?" or anything like that? Or is it just you just having communication? Or is it like the one with the tooth that you were saying that had a cavity? Did he, what, like, when he told you what was going on, like, how did he say it? What I'm kind
I
of.
just felt it.
Uh-huh.
I just
Oh, okay.
felt it
Mhm.
and got an idea where it is. But I do medical and veterinary intuition too.
Okay.
So if I get mouth pain, then I can focus in on which tooth it is.
Okay, so you understood.
But these
Yeah.
autistic kids get growing pains, and then the parents can do things about it. They can increase magnesium.
Okay.
A couple parents where their kids aren't tactily defensive, they've actually done massage. Some
Gotcha.
have used magnesium oil for massage, and it's it's really helped these kids because they really can't tell you. Um, you just get all kinds of different things from these kids, and what's so interesting is it is telepathic,
Mhm.
where you're hearing words and getting feelings, but when you develop the intuitive abilities to go with it, it's just so enhanced. It's like you're right there with them, communicating with them.
Yeah,
And now with the spell to speak going, great guns, it's really made a huge difference in these kids' lives.
I can
And
imagine.
I think there's a whole thing about presumed competence with these
Mhm.
kids. And when I tell the parents, I go, "This kid's like a freaking genius."
Mhm.
So they don't need colors and letters and symbols. They need like physics and
Mm.
geometry and algebra and calculus, because
Wow.
the kids are so bored because they just
Mhm.
give it, because they don't respond the way a normal young child would respond.
Mhm.
They like give them all this baby stuff.
Yeah.
They should be watching Nat Geo documentaries or things, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that that's us, people that aren't affected by some, I don't wanna call it a handicap because that's not fair. What we perceive as normality, right, is us. And then because
I
we,
don't I know I'm
yeah.
kind of stretching it there.
Well, yeah, obviously, but my point is that we look at someone who we feel is disabled, right? It
Right.
doesn't mean that they're disabled. It just means that they can't communicate what they need.
The word we use is neurodivergent. That's the word. I was in a drugstore one time. I don't
Mhm.
know what I was even getting because I never go to that part of town, or I just
Mhm.
ran in there to get something. Who knows what it was?
Yeah.
And this tall teenager, he was probably a good half hand taller than me,
Mhm.
doesn't make eye contact. And of course, with my background, I go, oh, autistic,
Mhm.
immediately. He's standing in front of me and he's finger flicking,
Mhm.
and he's standing in front of me and he's going, "Ah, ah."
Yeah.
And I went, oh, I know this kid. And of course, his people came running over. We're so sorry. I said, no, 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 no. Wait a minute. This is Cameron, isn't it? They
Mhm.
said, yes. I said, Cameron was in my writing program. And I said, he's whinnying at me. I said,
Mhm.
he knows I'm the horse lady. And they went, oh my goodness. We talk about that all the time. We've seen all the pictures and all the videos.
Mhm.
There's this kid coming over, no eye contact, finger flicking,
Mhm.
but he's making his point.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I said, Cameron, can I give you a hug? And he told me yes. And so I gave him a hug. It was so great. Just
Yeah.
out of nowhere, he comes running over to me. And he
Mhm.
was a big kid. I mean, part of me went, well, oh,
Right.
no, wait, I know this kid. He's
Yeah.
whinnying. It's got to be one of my kids.
Well, that definitely tells you that what you're doing is impactful in a positive way, right?
It was, yeah. I'm not doing the horseback therapy anymore. Doing readings is full time, and
Yeah.
I'm working on my dog communication book and pitching a TV show. So I
Oh,
got my
wow.
hands full.
Do you mind divulging what the TV show's about?
It's about my work.
I should
We're
have known
gonna
that. I
we're
should have
gonna
guessed
go
that.
to places where I have
Yeah.
no preconceived notion and do
Uh-huh.
readings and see what happens.
I like it. So, well, I'll keep an eye out for that one. Do you feel the communication with the animals and the kids, do you think that that's your calling in life? Do you feel that that's what you're meant here, what you're put here to do, or
Oh my goodness, yeah.
yeah,
But I think it's bigger. I
mhm,
think it's I get these pushes that I can't just keep doing one on one.
mhm.
It has
Oh,
to go
yeah,
bigger. And I
right.
love doing shows. Oh my God, I love doing shows. They're a hoot.
Mm,
Where
yeah,
I do readings for audience members, I'm trying to get that going too. Like I don't have
uh,
enough to do.
right.
When I found the horseback therapy, I was in my 20s, my early 20s.
Mhm,
I was giving lessons. I had the parents of a child say, hey, can you work with our child? She's got some disabilities. And I thought, heck yeah.
mhm,
Well, at the time, my roommate was a physical therapist. And she just very matter of fact said, well, there's an organization called the North American Riding for the Handicapped. I went, what?
mm.
There's a thing. It's a thing. And she said, yes.
Mhm,
So I got into that and I thought, no, no, can't do that. Well, I was about ready to quit. And somebody else said, why don't you do vaulting? And I went, what? Jumping on and off the horse and doing gymnastic moves? They said,
mm,
okay, let's see at the halt and the walk. Oh, that'd work.
Mhm.
So then I did therapeutic vaulting for off and on for 30 years. And
Wow.
it was just incredible. And when I heard that first child, um, I had no idea where this would lead.
Right.
Talking to dead people and doing medical and veterinary intuition and remote viewing and map dowsing and all the other stuff that just comes with it. It just comes with it. You don't
Mhm.
have a choice. You really don't.
S
And
s
and so there's no way I would have chosen this.
Right.
But I had to quit when I got divorced. I had to just stop the program, and oh my god, it broke my heart. But then
Mhm.
the more I started doing readings, that became more fulfilling, and guidance was really clear. And they said, "This will be your passion." And I was like, "I don't like that." I
Mhm.
wanted my old passion.
Right.
So, but
Yeah.
now I have so many clients that are like, I mean, I was watching NFR barrel racing and I went, "Oh, oh, no, I can't say anything. Oh, there's and they were my clients." And
Mhm.
even in the team roping. And I went, oh, no, because I can't say anything. I have really, really impeccable ethics about this. I don't share who my clients are at all.
Yeah, well, of course, I mean, it's almost like a HIPAA thing, right?
Yes, I abide by HIPAA. I really do. So I don't talk about my clients.
That's good that you have that level of integrity because a lot of people don't. They wanna name drop and all that kinda stuff, but
Right.
so, did you ever when you discovered your, talent, did you ever run from it or try to fight it, or did you just solely embrace it? Or did you,
I think
was there any hesitation on your part is what I'm trying to say?
the only time I really wanted to quit
Mhm.
is when I got wrong information and it
Okay.
pissed me off
Yeah.
because you can't have an ego in this. Ego means easing God out.
Oh, wow, I like that.
And so you can't have an ego in this process. It's not your stuff. You have to
Mhm.
be in surrender
Yeah.
and you have to just get out of your own way and relay the information where appropriate.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
now I mean, that was the one time I wanted to quit is because I was wrong, and I didn't want to be
Mhm.
wrong.
Yeah, no one
And
does.
now it's more that I'm given wrong information and I know it's wrong, and guidance will tell me that's the best information for right now. And I go,
Mhm.
all right. And I'll share the wrong information. And I'm going like, yeah, 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 yeah. I don't, because I know it's wrong, right?
Right.
And then the client will get back to me a couple weeks later and they're like, hey, Terry, remember that reading you did? Oh, yeah, I remember you were the wrong information. They went, you knew it was wrong. And I go, yeah, what happened? Something good? She goes, yes. Oh my God, wait till I tell you.
Yeah.
So I don't judge it anymore. It's like, okay, I mean, we got wrong information we're going to share. Okay, here we go.
Yeah.
And it
Well, I
always ends
mean,
up being for the best.
yeah, absolutely, and it's definitely, you have to do it with a level of integrity, because if you don't have a level of self-accountability, you're no different than a carnival, you know what I
And
mean?
being authentic. You have to be
Yeah, have
authentic
to be
when you do
authentic.
this.
It's like that's what I'm trying to do with the show here is try to find a level of authenticity with people
Sure.
because the way things are going these days, there is just not there when you have all these,
Right.
influencers and all these people trying to make a buck,
Well,
and it's Mhm,
and Phil, the funny thing is that I had somebody one time telling, now Terry,
mhm,
I know you're a cowgirl, but you really shouldn't swear when you're doing this work.
mhm.
My publisher on the back of one of my books wrote, "She's a custom cowgirl."
Yeah, I mean,
That's real. That's
yeah,
who I am.
exactly, and you should never stifle yourself for
No,
anything. That's like
no,
that's why, like, I was going with I had a bit of an issue with the show, and I was, I'm not, it's not where I want it to be, but I have to crush my ego and say, listen, I'm not doing this for anything other than the pure joy of doing it, right?
yes, you
And it's
have
like,
to.
you have to. This is actually costing me money to do, you know?
Sure,
And it's fine. I don't mind. I get to talk to people like you. I've had so many cool conversations, and that's what makes it worth it, the intrinsic value of the conversation. And this has been enlightening and great for me. It's showing me something, a different side of life that I'm not familiar with,
right,
So that's the reason I do this, but it's also to help you get your message out there and to maybe if somebody listens to this and they'll say, hey, I have a nonverbal kid with autism or a neurodivergent kid that needs,
right.
maybe they can contact you and they can have a conversation with them. It's all
Yeah,
about bringing people together. But I really like what you're doing. I think it's
thank you.
Yeah, I really think it's a good thing, and just, and the fact that you're such a straight shooter, no pun intended, it's
No, I
refreshing.
am.
Yeah, and it's the only way to be. You can't sugarcoat shit, and it's
No,
like, because
no,
it doesn't it doesn't change anything.
no. I'm
Um,
I'm
yeah,
I'm known as plain spoken.
yeah, and that's the way. And if we had more people like that, the world would be a better place for it.
Yes.
I have 3 questions that I ask people that come on my show. The first one is, what are 2 beliefs that make you who you are?
With God, all things are possible,
Hmm.
and that we all have these abilities,
Hmm. Okay.
and it's an honor to coach people to develop theirs.
It's good that you want to bring people into the knowledge that they have it. You know what I mean? Because some people would like to hoard it for themselves for personal gain. You know what I mean? Or gatekeep it, as the kids say these days. The second question is, you're about to go on to the next life. What do you want to be remembered for?
I want to leave a legacy of
Mm,
possibilities,
yeah.
of what's possible when you get out of your own way.
Mm,
And I'm going to do that with my books, hopefully my TV shows,
mm,
and maybe a documentary or something.
nice. Yeah. And then, what makes you happy?
Oh God, everything.
Good
I
answer.
mean, everything.
Mm,
It's
uh-huh,
like I'm on this high all the time.
uh-huh,
Just I love my dogs, my horses, my life.
uh-huh,
Um, Simple pleasures. Just love simple pleasures.
uh-huh,
And I'm just being in gratitude all the time. Oh my goodness. It's just, and I was so screwed up when I started this work. I was a mess.
uh-huh.
And so it's really been a journey, not only to do this work and to hone my craft, but to get happy in the process.
Yeah. And, that's not easily achieved in this day and age. People that find a peace within themselves and a peace with their life. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah,
very hard to do that, because we're always, I think, in the fast, in the fast paced life that we have these days, there's nothing, we don't know how to slow down and cherish anymore. You know what I
right,
mean? It's this, what's next? What's next?
right.
What's the new thing? What's that? You know what I mean? So where can people find your books? They
On
want
my
to read.
website,
Okay.
terryj.com is my website. It's just my name with a .com. And be
Mhm.
sure to check out the press kit. I have
Sure.
gobs and gobs of podcasts and videos and interviews and all kinds of juicy stuff on that in that press kit that'll really, if you're wondering about it and you're not sure and you want a book, but go check out
Mhm.
the press kit first. And
Okay.
then you can schedule and pay, and my exorbitant rates.
Yes.
50 and 90. And
Mhm.
you can also buy the books there too. The books
Okay.
are, available through my website.
Awesome. Well, I want to say thanks for coming on. I really appreciate it. It was a good conversation. And bye, everybody.